Hello, everyone, and welcome to Connections for Life. I'm Ted Pete.
I'm Captain Chad Kugo.
Joe's out of
I don't even know what to say. I'm
You
speechless.
can sit next to me if you want.
I'm Joe. I would never get on a plane that you were a pilot of.
Never.
It's an aeronautical episode.
I don't care if you spend the next 20 years of your life getting your pilot's license. I will never go on a plane with you.
No, not there. Not there.
Nope, never. No.
How about on one of these?
Weird.
Oh, golly. That was great.
I love the Snapchat filter.
Who do we have joining us on the show today?
Wow, that was quick. Really
just
quick.
Launching right into that.
Man. We're taking off.
Oh, good point. So this week we have CM Nelson with TRC joining us. CM's been in the industry for 35 years, but probably the thing that I know him for the most and the industry knows him for the most is his rectifier training schools. He does
Captain Rectifier.
Yeah. He does them pretty much almost at every NACE event throughout the country, actually. And everyone you go to, you see CM somewhere there. You used to see him with a flip phone, but he doesn't use that anymore. You'll find that out in the interview. But just a lot of fun to talk to, and can't wait to see him in person too.
That'll be great. Joe, I have bad news for you, though. If Chad is Maverick as the top right corner of his screen,
I get to be Goose.
You're Goose. So
I want to be Iceman.
Sorry. All right. Without further ado, welcome to the show.
Then you're Kelly McGill.
Nelson. Hello, everyone. Welcome, CM, to Connections for Life.
Good morning.
Hey, CM. How's it going?
Just happy to be
here. Same.
It's the highlight of my week.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
only Tuesday.
Wow. You got a rough week, huh? That's a rough
Monday,
week.
Which are always Mondays. It's Tuesday, guys. Come on.
I hope it picks up for you, CM. Just really quick, we're gonna start off where we start off. Everybody knows that Mr. Nelson here is a big shot in the rectifier world. Your kind of name is synonymous with that. You know it is. Don't try to stop it.
Hey, Joe, I tell people all the time, while they sound similar, there's a huge difference between famous and infamous.
Absolutely. Well, I just hope that we can someday get to the level that you are and as respected as well as you are in what you do. With that being said, how'd you get your start in the corrosion industry? What was the beginning?
I am a fan of the show. I watch it, and you were making fun of Chad on a recent one. And
which one?
Yeah. But Chad made some comment about, I didn't get in the industry to be in the industry. And you kind of...
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Well, truth be told, same for me. I mean, I started going to work for a major pipeline company down in South Texas. I went to work for them because I needed a job and they were the best paying outfit around. It was just simple practicality.
Yeah.
And as I tell when I'm doing trainings and whatnot to everybody, I got into this and I didn't know the difference between Catholic and Catholic.
I'm stealing that one.
I still don't. I still don't.
I had no idea you could take a truckload with 45,000 pounds of coke and drive it through a major metropolitan by the DEA. I didn't know any of it.
For those viewers watching that don't know, that's a different kind of coke. That is not.
Don't get any.
Not even the drinkable one.
It's not like Narcos. It's
different. I have to intervene and say things that our guests say are not a direct representative.
Disclaimer flashes on the screen. Do not express the views and opinions of this show
or of the organization.
Great story. I warned you guys, this could be dangerous. But bottom line is I just went to work in the general gang, and through just luck of the draw, whatever, I got yanked by the corrosion man one day to help him. We're driving out. I'm just trying to figure out what we're doing today. He said, we're going to go do a little detailed survey. I literally turned around the back of the truck and looked back there and said, well, where's the transit? How are we going to shoot elevations? Well, no, it's not that kind of survey. A survey. Well, we're going to take potentials. What is that? And so I'm the kind of guy, the more you give me answers, I just ask you more questions. And you got to realize back in the early 80s, corrosion was still black magic voodoo. Most people didn't understand it, didn't fully appreciate it. Certainly major corporate mentality didn't understand it. But he had never had anybody actually ask what he did. And so he thought it was cool. And I became the guy that he would drag into it. And, you know, I learned how to put in conventional beds, deep wells, how to do surveys, how to, you know, recoat pipe. And it bit me. It was like a virus. And I ultimately warn all the classes I teach. I tell people, my personal experience, you show me somebody that stays in this industry for 5 years. Very rarely do they ever leave. They may be an employer, they may switch from the contractor side to the owner-operator side or vice versa, but they don't leave.
Most of them are 50 years later after that 5.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
I always say it's just the name on your shirt that changes. It's like, you know.
Yeah. Name on the shirt, name on the paycheck. But, you know, at the end of the day, and that's one of the things that I've been trying to do and what little contributions I can make here and there. But we're the greatest industry nobody knows anything about.
True. That's a great.
You don't walk up to a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old kid and say, you know, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a senior corrosion technologist.
I'm actually going to teach my 7-year-old to say that next time somebody asks him.
I can so hear Callie doing that though.
She could, yeah.
You know, and that's one of the things that I think is great about what you guys are doing. NACE has a bunch of initiatives where they're trying to work with young people, is just making the public at large aware. There was in the NACE impact study a couple of years ago, and I'm going to have this wrong, but just roll with me.
It's all right. We'll fact check.
Fine. We have a full fact checking crew.
We'll blow it up.
On across all industries and all sectors, the median age of employees is like 32. In the corrosion world, the median age is like 51.
Wow. And now CM off of that.
Wait a minute. You know what that means though? We're all still way young.
Well, I don't know about the we.
I meant the guys on the show. You're gonna.
Do you think that, and this is a little spin-off question of what you just said though, but it's something big in just the utility industry, is that kind of skip of knowledge of like 20 years. Do you think it's because they kind of shut down hiring and for like 20 years in between there, you get like 50, you get guys that are senior in the utilities and then you get guys that literally came off the street yesterday as a car salesman at 25. It's just it's a weird thing.
I can tell you this from firsthand experience, and there's a chance I may offend some of the broad-based listeners in your vast audience.
I love this one. This is my favorite interview so far.
You say that every interview.
I know, but this one's really good.
But, you know, here's the deal. Like the pipeline company I worked for back in the 80s, here's the deal. We'll say it's me. And I've come in and told the area manager that, look, you know, December of 2022, I'm out. I got enough. I'm retiring. They would immediately begin to look internally. And, you know, you guys are all in the crew, and I'm going to say Joe, just because I don't want Chad to be bigger. You know, they're going to look at it and say, you know what, Joe, he's a good worker. He's conscientious. He dots his I's. He crosses his T's. Joe, are you interested in getting into corrosion? You say, typically, does it involve a pay raise? Yes. Okay, I'm interested. But then they would embed you with me for 9, 12, 15 months. You're in my back pocket.
Right.
You know where I go, you see.
Like an apprenticeship almost.
Yeah.
It is. And I mentored you and I taught you the tricks and everything else. Now let's fast forward to today. I'm not going in and telling my area manager that I'm gone in 2 years. If you're lucky, I'm telling you today that December 31st, I'm out of here.
Maybe.
Management starts thinking, we need to start making some moves. We need to do some things to replace CM. And what do? Nothing. Then
they wait till December 31st.
Oh no, they wait till January the 15th or February the 1st.
And they realize nobody's doing what CM was doing, right?
Yeah.
And so now they've hired Joe, and they threw you in there and said, boom, you're the corrosion guy.
Wow.
Who is there for you to ask questions? Who is there? To, this is what the book says. Here's how you really do it.
Wow. That actually really makes sense. Teddy has an idea. I can tell. He's looking at him. He's like this.
Can I ask you, do you think that has shifted due in part to the culture of employers now, where in the past you would have said, hey, I'm leaving in 2 years, but our society has changed so much so that if you notified them that you were going to leave in 2 years,
they'd get ready in 2 weeks.
You're gone in 3 months.
You're gone in 3 months. Hey, we're replacing him now. And that has changed so much across the board in the employment industry, with every aspect of every industry, that our workforce has almost, and I don't want to say this because I'm part of this, but been watered down because we don't allow people to get that apprenticeship. I went through a 5-year apprenticeship in the union. Then I needed 5 more years to figure out how to do it on my own without somebody holding my hand.
Now you're a sales guy.
Yeah.
Look at that worked out for you.
Yeah, well, that worked.
No, it's a great question. And I think like a lot of questions nowadays, it's a multifaceted answer. I think you hit the nail on the head. Another nail on the head doesn't apply to all companies, but it certainly is, unfortunately, a growing trend, in my opinion. Again, going back to like my father, he worked and retired from Tenneco. And I remember being a kid growing up, each division had a human resources guy. Mm-hmm. And when he came and visited the district locations, which he didn't do once a year, he did it regularly. He didn't have to start looking through a folder as he's getting ready to be there going, okay, let's see, what's the superintendent's name? Ted. He's married, got 3 kids.
He already knew.
He knew it.
Yeah.
He knew who you were. And he's walking in and he's asking, hey, how's that AAU, basketball working out? Or, how's your daughter's application process for college? They knew. Because
I think you're right. That's cultural.
Yeah.
Well, and at that point in time, companies recognized that the best asset they had was its workforce. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's where the money was. That's the people you're counting on to keep everything running smooth, fix it when it goes bad. The best asset you have is your workforce. Unfortunately, too many companies have rolled into the opinion that every one of you is
replaceable.
Yes.
If I lose it, I break it, I go to Walmart and buy a new one. It's fine.
Well, it's funny that you bring that up, and I know we will have some other questions, but it boggles my mind.
Place, Joe. Let it shape itself.
No, it's weird to me that like I feel like I always thought this, like if it was my organization, if I ran a company, right? I've always thought this, like I would want to make those people that work for me highly motivated and feel super special. And I would make sure that I had those conversations and really understood what made them tick, because a happy employee and somebody that feels comfortable and confident and secure in their job is always going to do more than somebody that just feels like, I'm just another, I hate saying number, right? But those conversations and those opportunities just don't exist really in the world anymore. And I think it's really sad. I think it's sad, like you just said, that everybody feels like they're just a pair of glasses that they could just tomorrow, and all of what you've learned over the course of your career could technically be replaced by someone else that has way less experience, way less knowledge, but and they would just we'll figure it out. And I think that's why a lot of companies struggle to grow, because they think everything is replaceable. When you have that constant turnover, or lack of information, or lack of what's the word I'm looking for, guys? Transfer of information. Thank you. I get stuck sometimes. I'm like a record. Transfer. At least CM was paying attention. Thanks. I just feel it's really detrimental. And that's why I love talking to the let's just say, I don't say the old guys, because I don't mean it that way. Just the people that have been around a long time, because their stories are so unique and the things that they've done are just so impressive. A lot of people don't get to hear them. That's one of the things I love about this show, is being able to have those conversations, because there's a lot of things that we've talked with people about that they've said. I've had guests or listeners say, well, I didn't know that. That's really cool. I've known this person for a very long time and I never heard that story, or I didn't know that part of them. So I don't know. Anyways,
we really went off track on that one.
Wow. I don't know where I was going with that one.
It was awesome. That was a good one.
Hold on. One thing I do want to say, I want to be very clear when I was talking about some of these changes for the worse that have gone on in industry. By no means am I using a broad brush and saying it applies to everybody.
Oh, no.
Still companies out there. I know that personally, I mean, without going into a great deal of detail, in the past 12 months, you know, I started with TRC. Then my parents got COVID. Then my mom had a stroke. There was a lot of external things going on. And I know for a fact that there are multitudes of companies that would have said, you know, life sucks, too bad.
Yeah.
They were great. They were awesome. And so, I mean, there are still companies out there that are doing it, but fortunately, the number is.
I agree. Yeah. That was kind of my point. It wasn't a direct like knock on any organization, or, you know, we obviously work for organizations that we love, and they've given us the latitude to be able to do things like this. We're happy with that. And, you know, I was just referring to the things that I hear and see, you know, from other people, that they feel just unappreciated. And it's hard to go to work every day and feel that way. It's difficult. So anyways.
Back onto the scheduled programming. That was good though, CM. That really good insight though. I love talking about that.
I would rather talk that way than asking.
That's me too. But
that's why we're like, just go, because this was great dialogue. This was the nature of what we're evolving into.
We still don't know what the hell CM does.
Hang on, we're about to get there.
We talked for 30 minutes. I don't even know what he does.
So my next question, CM, is with all that corrosion in the background and how you started and all that history, when did you take it upon yourself to kind of make rectifiers your specialty, as you would? Because if I hear CM Nelson for the last 10 years, that
same.
All I hear is rectifier. So
well, Reader's Digest version, you know, rectifiers were a large portion of my life, almost 35 years. And I've since transitioned away from that. But when I graduated from the Texas A&M University,
was that a shot at the Ohio State thing again?
I think it was a shot at every other university.
No. It's just a shot at those useless nut Buckeyes. That, you know, like there's so many other Ohio States. You have to delineate the Ohio State. But, you know, I'm representing. I just want you to see.
Yeah, I saw that earlier. I wasn't going to say anything.
Is that T for the? Is that what the T's for?
Yeah. But anyway, when I graduated from school, I had really, I mean, by that point in time, the corrosion bug had bit me. This is what I want to do. And like a lot of kids coming out of college, I was naive and I thought, you know, I've got a degree, engineering degree. I've got corrosion experience. Man, people will snap me up like this. Except here's the thing. I certainly, and 1985 was a horrible job market, but I had offers, but they were to go sit in an office at a high rise. I wanted to be connected. I didn't want to be that far from the ditch. And the consistent answer I would get when I would say, look, man, I don't want to sit at this desk and do stuff on paper. I want to be involved. I want to be in corrosion. They would look at me and go, but you have a degree.
Why do you want to be on the dirt if you can?
Why would you lower yourself? And you know, fast forward to today, and hey, we've got University of Akron that is producing a 4-year science degree in corrosion engineering.
Yep. Which is awesome, actually.
That's actually I have a question about that, because I've heard that in the past, like about the Akron. Is that something that other universities or other places have adopted as well, or is it really specific to that particular university?
In terms of a 4-year degree,
yeah,
that is the only one that I'm aware of. Awesome. One down here in Texas that's been very successful is Kilgore College, and you can get a 2-year associate's degree in corrosion.
What was that? What college was that?
Kilgore College.
Kilgore College?
Yeah, it'd be the Kilgore College.
Oh, I just wanted to confirm.
There aren't any others.
I just wanted to confirm.
But you know, they have a 2-year program, but Akron is really about it if you want a 4-year program. Now, I know that Oklahoma State has been working on a pipeline kind of overall management integrity degree, but it's not corrosion specific.
Gotcha. That's cool. I'm always interested to hear about that. It's weird, I don't know if it's weird, but most people that are engineers, they go to school, they're like a mechanical engineer or an electrical engineer, right? Like, so I've always wondered why, specifically since I've been in the gas industry, that there's so many things that are specific to, like, you can be an electrical engineer, but you're not a gas engineer, right? You're not a corrosion engineer. And I always wondered why, like, universities didn't offer more programs that way, because I feel like there's a lot of job market and opportunity to give people that kickstart to get into the industry that I mean, maybe it's just not pushed, or maybe it's just not that widely, I guess, known. I don't know. I've just always wondered about
it's not that widely known. And, it requires pretty specific skill set to be able to instruct and teach. And, those guys aren't just sitting around on any corner.
Sure.
You take, and if somebody were to do all the demographics and take into account petroleum engineers, electrical engineers, et cetera, and then take how many people are doing that work across the globe, now do it for corrosion, it's going to be a much smaller.
And that's what I was saying. So there's two sides to that coin. One, you're equipping yourself to fill a specific need in a very small demographic, in a very small market, which is great if you think you're going to be in the upper echelon of it and get it. The other end of it, which a lot of kids, at least I know when I was college age, I didn't know what I wanted to really do, but I knew I kind of had an idea. So maybe they were like, I want to be an engineer, but I don't know if I want to be this specific engineer because I might not be that good at it, but I could probably fit in here along those lines.
Like a broad brush, it kind of just fits under the whole umbrella.
Yes, yeah. Not taking anything away from any other type of engineering, but
no, but it's true. It's probably one of the reasons I did so badly in college, was because I went and
it had nothing to do with the other distractions.
I also had to show up to college once. Like I lived in College Park, Maryland. I was enrolled.
You had a whole set of other problems.
Yeah, it was a whole
nothing to do with your choice of degree.
Hey, that's for a different group of circle to sit around and discuss.
Yeah, that's a meeting that we have on Wednesday afternoons, I think.
But no, really, I wanted to be an aerospace engineer, but there was no way I was smart enough to do that. And I realized that after I took my class of Introduction to Aerospace Engineering, and I went, "Oh no, not going to." I'm
going to give you to the end of the show to make a paper airplane that actually flies. Right now, you have the rest of the show to come up with a paper airplane that flies. Just I want to see if you can pull it off.
Thanks. I'll do it.
Right, back on track here, Joe. What do you got?
You mentioned it earlier, and I know that you've been recently come over to TRC. I think you said a year. It's been 12 months.
Yes.
Okay. For those of the audience and viewers that don't know, what does TRC do? I know you're a large organization. You have probably a lot of different facets, but what is your role there, and what do they do primarily?
Well, you're right. I mean, they are a large organization. They were founded in the late 60s, and they were the research corporation of New England. They were predominantly an air quality and environmental company. And in these subsequent 60 years since, they've gone to expanding, now have approximately 5,500 employees across offices, and they do everything. I mean, they're involved in environmental, they do construction, they do failure analysis, they do environmental, they do field services. We do all types of consulting, regulatory, environmental. There are multiple disciplines within TRC. Me specifically, I am in our integrity group, and that encompasses everything from expert witness testimonies to trainings to regulatory to construction to field services. We have crews that go out and do CIS, ECDA. They can be I'm showing my age, they can be Kelly girls of corrosion. Yes.
I'm not that smart. What is ACDA?
ECDA.
I couldn't even get the acronym right, let alone the actual concept.
Yeah. No, that's
you're muted, Chad.
I know.
Direct assessment.
I'm pretty sure you sat through class on that, Joe.
Oh, ICDA.
No, there is ICDA. There is
internal and external. Gotcha.
There you go.
There you go, buddy.
Sorry, Chad.
Chad acted like he knew.
Picking it up like this.
No, but
when we did the Corrosion Expo, we had a class that was IDCA, but I thought you said ADCA, and I kind of.
You thought it was a band, huh?
Yeah, I was looking up Amazon, the new album.
It was like ABBA.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
So with that said, so you talked a little bit about everything. So what does your role there as a senior technical advisor, like what does your everyday look like then, CM?
Herding cats.
All right, Chad, put the cat background up.
Yeah, I can't do that fast.
Too much pressure.
No, it's multifaceted. I mean, I'm consulting with clients. We've literally got clients that have us on speed dial because they need help, they need knowledge, they need expertise. I have graduated. To some of those that have known me for a long time are going to be surprised. I've graduated from a flip phone to a smartphone. I've actually done video calls with techs in the field. And
when did you make that change, Sam? And I'm not even being smart because I think the last time I saw you in person, you may have had a flip phone.
Oh, if you saw me more than a year ago, it was still.
Yeah, that's definitely the last time I saw you, probably like 3 years ago.
Yeah. Hey, and for the record, I still have it. I'm just saying.
So what was the catalyst for change? Was it because of what's happened during COVID and your hit needed to be more accessible, virtually?
Yeah.
Or
no, it was that, and with COVID, that turned everything on its ear. It turned how we operate. It turned how clients operate. It turned how you guys operate.
Yeah.
And where we already had a gap of knowledge, we still tended to be in a situation where if I've got a problem, Ted is one of my coworkers, I can holler at Ted and say, hey, Wednesday, can you meet me at this site? We'll solve this. Oh, wait, you guys can't get together anymore. We're distant, we're separated, we're connected electronically. And so it just magnified where these guys have challenges.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Go ahead, Chad.
I was just thinking literally the other day, what if this pandemic happened in like 1985?
I was just going to say that. It probably wouldn't have happened.
It wouldn't have. You're right.
So I wasn't going to say that. What I was going to say though is, so I deal with a lot of like youth in our church and in sports and everything. And I've been doing it for a while now.
The youths.
Yeah. I've been doing it for a while now. So I've had some kids who I've had since they were 16, 17 years old now that are 22, 23 years old. Right. And I've watched the evolution of them where they immediately discredit something that they don't understand. All right. So just because they don't understand it, it doesn't, they feel that you don't have anything to offer them. All right. So for me, I've witnessed, so like on a construction site, a multi-million-dollar construction site, a gentleman like yourself, who is the resident expert on whatever it may be, right? You walk out with a flip phone. All right. Those guys are going to be like, that guy doesn't know what he's actually talking about. We're still doing stuff from 1981, blah, 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 blah. When in reality, it's the farthest thing from the truth. But I find that it's that you know what I mean?
Perception.
Perception, you're immediately discredited.
Exactly. Perception immediately discredits you. And now look, but it also now, where you didn't care what the perception was before, you were forced to change somewhat.
Yes, to a degree. And I begrudgingly admit, especially with the things like being able to help the people that I've been able to help while they're standing in the field with the video.
Right.
That wasn't going to happen with a flip phone.
Yeah.
Right.
Do I still need all that face, Twitter, Instacrap?
Oh, the old face, Twitter, Instacrap. I just got that new app, the face, Twitter, Instacrap.
It's new, huh?
That's cool. After this, Sam, we'll show you how to buy Bitcoin.
Yeah. I heard on one of your earlier episodes, y'all said something about mining for Bitcoin. I'm just wondering how big an excavator you need to dig.
Oh, that was Bill shot.
I don't even know how to, I don't even know what that means.
Joe and I talked about it the other day that we talked about, I've read 19 articles on cryptocurrency and I still can't figure out what it actually is.
That's going to be our next guest.
I find it's all too cryptic to deal with.
Oh, look at you with the bad pun.
Wow.
Look at you. I know one of your favorite things to do, CM, is teach. I know that you love doing rectifier schools and classes and trainings. And I know that because of COVID, it kind of got, you really weren't doing it, right? It wasn't, you weren't able to do them much. I know in speaking with you in the past couple of weeks and since the expo that's kind of opened back up and you've been able to get out there and do some rectifier trainings. I'm sure out of the years that you've done it, that there's probably a few really funny things that have happened or a few really impactful things that have happened. You want to just throw one out there, and please name names to embarrass people.
So we can tag them.
Yeah.
No, I've always promised my classes that I will change the names to protect the ignorant.
The ignorant.
You know, the things that have stood out to me is when you get some people in there, and I think it kind of goes back to what Ted was saying. You know, they're young, they're just the old guy. Yeah, want. It's like the teacher on Charlie Brown.
Yep.
And that's one of the reasons that I was very resistant. You know, you said COVID locked us down, and there were certainly a number of people that were suggesting, hey, you got to start teaching virtual. Can't, not this. I mean, I can teach, but it's not as good because the way the class structure is set up, you know, we've spent the whole day going through things, and my style is I don't lecture to you. I'm going to make you participate. You're going to have to answer. You're going to have to think. But one of my favorites was I actually had a guy walk up to me one day after the class, and he said, I don't really like the way you teach.
Awesome.
Okay. Fair enough. Why? Why do you not like the way I teach? He said, all you do is ask us questions. You're trying to make us, answer these questions. Why don't you just tell us what we want to know and we can get done and we can leave? I said, it's real simple. I'm not going to be standing there with you the next time this happens to you in the field. Mm-hmm. My goal is not to give you something that you can simply regurgitate, get a check mark on a box, say I passed and walk out the door. I'm trying to teach you how to think. I'm trying to get you to understand how this all works.
You really should have answered with, because I don't know the answer.
I would have told him for another $1,000 he could take the next level course where I actually teach something. But that's probably why I don't teach. The one last thing, and I know I just wanted to touch base on this because we kind of talked about it at the Corrosion Expo, and thank you for being a part of that. We really did appreciate it, and being on the table. And
they're lying to you. They told me they hated it, and they didn't appreciate it.
Yeah. But one of the things that I know is near and dear to your heart is your mentorship program, the volunteering with NACE. You want to just kind of give them a little pump real quick and talk about what you do over there, because I think it's awesome, and I think a lot of people benefit by that, and it's pretty cool. No, absolutely.
If for anybody that doesn't know about it, the NACE Foundation has a Veterans Workforce Development Program. Now and all you got to do is go to the NACE Foundation, log on, and it's very easy to navigate. But if you are an honorably discharged military veteran, you can go in and there's an application process.
Teddy's ears perked up. Teddy runs a veteran group. He's a president.
He said honorable.
Oh my!
Honorable. You better.
We're gonna need to see your papers.
Oh, man.
We're gonna need to see your papers.
And what they've got is they've got a vetting process, and they're going to go through and select viable candidates. If you are selected, first right out of the box, NACE is going to equip you with the NACE Basic Corrosion course for free.
Wow.
Online. Take it. That serves two parts in that, one, a lot of these people are not going to have a knowledge of corrosion, so they got to start. It also serves as a really good vetting program within itself. I gave you a self-study online course. Did you knock it out in a couple of weeks, or did you take 10 months? Did you pass it? Pending successfully navigating that, you get to take CP1.
Also for free.
For free?
Yes.
Yeah.
CP1's a $3,000 course, essentially.
Right. The other thing that they do is they will then take the candidate and they will pair them with a mentor. And you can either be going on the Corrosion CP1 course, or you can be doing the Coding CIP.
Yeah,
but they will pair you with an industry mentor. And, you know, if I am Chad's mentor, it is not my job to find him a job, but I'm here to be a resource, to answer questions, provide guidance, etc. Like any one of those kind of type deals, there are better success stories than others.
Sure.
I have got several. I mentored, and it's a 1-year gig when you sign up to mentor somebody. I've done 8, and still maintain contact with several of them. 2 of them, pretty steady contact.
That's awesome.
Well,
and they still reach out to me when they run into questions or problems, and
that's amazing.
It's kind of a way to pay it forward, because, you know, one of the other things that I stress to my classes when I teach them, you know, I was the epitome of I didn't know jack when I got started. I was very, very fortunate to get exposed to a lot of people that, for whatever reason, possibly pity, took an interest in me.
Probably, yeah, that's it.
And I was smart enough to zip this and open these and listen and absorb. And then as time has continued, and it's really been one of the hardest things, I think, for a lot of us with the pandemic, is going and being able to mix and mingle at, you know, Liberty Bell, at an Eastern Regional, a Western Regional, at the
it's one of the reasons we do this show, CM, is just like some type of normalcy to that.
Exactly. And I think it's great, and I applaud you guys for doing it.
Thank you.
I just want to commend you for doing what you guys do. I know that you, and I believe Tom Connors is really involved in that as well, correct?
Yes.
That's something that you guys do. I know it's an awesome program. A lot of people have benefited by it. And I think that that's kind of what the world is missing, is those people that are willing to give their time, energy, and effort to other people selflessly to be able to help others and then help the industry. So personally, I just want to say thank you for that, because there's certainly a lot more opportunities out there for people to do that. And I don't think we always take advantage of them.
And, you know, I said how, if you know somebody that's an honorably charged veteran, how they can go and navigate to the website and start the application process. Like any volunteer organization, if somebody hears this and says, hey, I'd like to help some vets, I'd like to mentor, trust me, you go to the same website and you can sign up, and they would be more than happy to have somebody volunteer to be a mentor.
Teddy's signing up right now. Look at him.
And before we let you go, I want to, if you could just give that website one more time. It's on the NACE site.
Why don't we have them just add it? We'll get it from them after the show.
We'll add it, and we can add it to
the posting.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just nacefoundation.org.
Does turn into more work for you, Joe, though. Sorry.
Always. See how they do that?
I'm happy to help.
Before we let you go, CM, I just wanted to say thanks. And also, you know, you talked about all these NACE classes and CIP and CP. I'm lucky enough to have been able to go through CIP and CP, some of them.
Was that after your aerospace engineering debacle?
It is. And it's actually one of the things I wanted to mention before we head out is I tell people a lot, especially kids that are kind of searching, trying to find their way, trying to find something to do. At NACE, with these classes, for a very small investment, you can literally have a career for the rest of your life. I mean, you know, to go to college for 4 years, even 2 years now, is to the tune of $30,000 to $80,000, depending on what you do. And you could literally go take 3 or 4 of these NACE classes, and it would probably cost you 15 to 20 grand with everything, and they really set you up pretty good. So it's just one of those other things I like to mention.
Very cool.
No, it is, and you know, before we bust on you too hard, when I started at A&M, I was going to be a petroleum engineer.
But you finished.
And
you still got an engineering degree.
I didn't do any of that.
I would like to say that I got out of petroleum into mechanical because I was a visionary, and I saw that in 1985 the oil market was going to be in the toilet. That would be a lie. I got out of it because I wasn't smart enough to do it.
I joke and I pick on Chad, but our stories are very similar.
You just did it for a couple more years than I did.
I didn't get smart enough as soon as you did, so I guess. CM, thanks. I want to say not only just for being on the show, but like through this whole journey, this COVID year, we've gotten to meet a lot of people that we normally wouldn't have gotten to meet. Specifically me, I work on the manufacturing side of our business. I mean, we probably would have never interfaced in a professional world. And I have to say, you're one of my favorite people that I've gotten to meet during that time.
Well, I appreciate that. And I mean it sincerely. I think that what you guys are doing is great, because this is genuine, it's real, and it's about as close as we can get to having a normal conversation and being in the same spot. I think by now, pretty much everybody is sick of Zoom or Team or WebEx.
We live on it.
But this was fun. It was enjoyable.
Thank you a ton. Thank you for the support for the Corrosion Show, all your willingness to help us on the things that we've asked and talked to you about. And I got to say, there's probably not one other guest that I want to go have a beer with than Mr. CM Nelson. So again,
I look forward to the time when we're actually able to start getting together in person. Absolutely. I know a quick plug, the NACE Eastern Regional is still being to be an in-person event in October.
Where's that?
Pittsburgh.
It's going to be at South Point, south of Pittsburgh.
I'll be there this weekend.
And it's going to be the first week. It's going to be the first week in October. And again, I guess they were desperate for speakers, but the current plans are to incorporate a school into that conference. So,
well, CM, if you get involved and I can help teach anything, you let me know.
I can't help teach, but I can help do behind the scenes stuff, moderate things like that.
We'll help either way.
Learn something.
Hey, Ted can attend.
Can I attend?
He's not coming. Ted's not coming.
Sorry. All right.
Thank you guys. I enjoyed it. Thanks for having me.
CM, thank you for joining us. We'll talk to you later.
Take care.
Wow, CM. As it sounds redundant that I say it every single week, but that was a great interview.
Hey, I just when we came back, I just wanted to come up with a.
Oh boy,
does it fly?
Definitely correct.
That was just like your college career.
that was much faster, much slower than my college career.
Jed, over the plane right now.
Yeah. I want to say thanks to CM. Like I honestly, I did not know CM. I've heard his name a million times in the industry before we did the Corrosion Expo, and we've gotten to know him pretty well since then. And he's just so fun. Really great guy. He's got a lot of really silly puns and jokes, and he's just a great guy to talk to and be around. And I'm really super looking forward to getting to see him in person and hanging out with him, getting to know him a little bit better. But Sam, thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for being a part of it. Thank you for being a viewer and somebody that's a follower and watches the show. That gives us 4 now, so we're excited about that. 4 confirmed. Got Doug Stafford, CM, and
we're gonna have to get CM to comment, unfortunately, to prove it.
Yeah, right. So, anyways,
you watched this episode by commenting. So, hey, I just want to pump the tires on Upsco for a brief moment, and one of our product lines that we distribute for Footage Tools. Right now through June 30th of 2021, we have a promotion on the footage piercing tool, the Big Shot. So, with any trade-in, we are offering 20% off.
And when you say trade-in, Teddy, you're talking it can be non-functional. It
doesn't gotta work. Gotcha. You give it to us, we'll take it out. We'll take it off the streets, and we'll give you 20% off a list price for it. So,
I like it. Joe's gonna say something funny though. Here it comes.
I know, I can see it.
Yeah. You kept it to yourself?
Yeah.
First time for everything.
That goes till when does that end, Ted? I know
June 30th, 2021. So you got 2 months. A little more than 2 months to go.
Let's go. People
all right,
big shots.
Chad, what time is it?
It is gas fact time. Gas fact. Joe's gas fact. Joe's gas fact.
I don't know how this gets even worse every week, but it somehow does.
It more and more every week.
I know you both are, and I appreciate that.
That's why you're coming up with stuff to make us look like idiots. More.
Yeah, well,
more like idiots.
Here it comes.
Well, Chad's an aerospace engineer.
No, I'm not. That was the point.
You probably should have started cosmetology and worked your way up.
I got to the A part and stopped.
Yeah.
A engineer.
Engineer 101. This is not even that. Anyways, there's just a couple of things. I was looking, I got lost in, there's a website called, if you haven't checked it out, it's called Our World in Data. And you legitimately can find anything on there, like anything in the world, they have data on it. And it's really a cool website. But I was looking at greenhouse gas emissions with all the talk of fossil fuels and everything that greenhouse gases and climate change and all that. And I really wanted to learn a little bit more and really understand it. I didn't want to listen to just random people tell me how things go. So what I found to be really interesting is two things. Number one, out of all this is for the United States only, but out of all the greenhouse gas that's emitted, only 4% comes from residential natural gas consumption. I thought that was crazy. Only 4%.
That's
out of all the
type though of natural gas being awful,
Yeah, and the largest contributor to natural gas, to greenhouse gas is electricity generation.
It has to be electricity generation.
Gotta be,
Yeah. Well, I think it's tied with transportation. But I mean, they're right, like neck and neck. They're fighting.
Now,
so I thought that was cool.
Go ahead. Okay, I got one.
No, go ahead. Ask your question.
I just have a stupid question you probably don't know the answer to, but
I know, buddy. I'm gonna make something up if I don't.
When you're talking about the electric, is that also natural gas generated electric plants, or it's
coal and natural gas?
Okay.
Yep, I did look that up because I wanted to know. But what I found even more interesting is we hear about like greenhouse gases and climate change, and like it's getting worse and worse and worse, right? From the United States, in 1990, the United States had 226 million people that lived in it. You guys stick with that number? In 2020, we have 330 million people. So that's an uptick of, I don't know, do the math, whatever that works out to be. Almost about 100,000 people. Actually, it's a little over 100,000 people. However, our greenhouse gas emissions.
No, it's a lot more than that.
It's a lot more than that. You said 226 million?
100 million.
That's what I meant, 100 million. Sorry.
Yeah.
I said 100,000?
Yeah.
I know good with
low year.
It's 100 million more people. But our greenhouse gases have remained, there's been ups and downs in the mid 2000s. It kind of, ratcheted back up there, but it's actually come down to about what it was in 1990.
Even though we have how many more people?
100 million more people.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is that if you just, you kind of think about that, well, that's cool, but what does that mean from a world, like what percentage of the world greenhouse gas emissions is that?
Yeah.
It's about 4.25%.
Wow.
So I think I got that right. Maybe I got that wrong.
But I do
check it. I don't know if I got that right.
I'll fact check that with CM's.
Yeah. What I do know is it's interesting. If you go on that website I told you about, there's this chart. You can look it up. It's annual total CO2 emissions by world region. And it's like everybody, like the United States came out of the gates because of the Industrial Revolution. And this goes all the way back to 1750. Okay. So it came out of the gates and we were hammering it. We were like right up there. And Asia has like absolutely gone crazy in the amount. I mean, they're almost, hold on, let me just double check. Because I think I can do this. No, maybe not. Hold on, we can do this. So China, for example, is like double the greenhouse emissions that we are.
Wow. They also probably make double the amount of things in the world.
So China right now is, as of this chart, 2019 was at 10.17 billion tons of greenhouse gas emissions. The interesting thing is that if you go back to what I said earlier, in 1990, China was only 2.4
Yeah, see what they've done?
So we've stayed the same. They've gone up
massively.
Whoa.
Asia as a whole. I pinpointed China. I don't mean to like throw China under the bus.
It's supposed to snow tomorrow.
All right, let's not talk about that.
Is that what the climate change thing? I don't know. I thought it was really cool to start reading about that stuff and learning about it. And Our World in Data is an amazing website. You can legitimately look up anything on there and somebody's recorded it. So that's it. Sorry, it wasn't the really cool one for you guys this week.
You didn't have any questions, which confused me.
I'm just glad you didn't embarrass us.
What percentage of natural gas consumption goes to greenhouse gas emissions?
4.1.
Or something.
It's just 4. It's just 4.
You rounded it.
I just said it 48 seconds ago. You still guys didn't. There. Is that enough embarrassment for the week?
Thank you. We appreciate that. All right, guys. We're going to wrap it up. We want to remind you guys to click, like, subscribe, share, do all of these good things. Oh, Joe, you just gave me an idea. Chad, make it so when we do that, when I say click, like,
subscribe, I know. That's what I was going to say, too.
You can put that up there.
What do I'm not like, this is, Do you know how long it took me to do that?
We've done 53 episode, and I mean, minus some changes in where we tape, our backgrounds have been exactly the same. You have 5 an episode. So yes, you're in charge of those things.
100%.
Huh?
All right, guys, click like, subscribe, share, do all of those things. We love you. Thank you so much for connecting with us. Have a great one, guys.